All right, Fishaholics, well, welcome back. I'm out here on the Wapoo River. I think in my last vid I called it the Ashley, but we're heading downriver towards the Ashley. And it's a beautiful day, finally. It's Saturday, and it looks like we've got like the water all to ourselves. It's a little chilly, so some of these southerners might be, you know, a little bit afraid of getting out here. You know, it's probably about like 45, 48 degrees right now, but it's supposed to get up to like 50, which isn't too bad. And it's been like 4 or 5 days, I guess, since our last outing. In between there, it's just been torrential rain and nasty windy weather. And you know, I was hoping I would actually be down in Florida by now, but unfortunately or fortunately, you know, my mom is flying down from Jersey to Florida, and then my sister Erica, who lives here in Charleston, wanted to fly down, but couldn't find a cheap flight. And being that I was driving down, it only makes sense for her to hop in the car with me, and we'll kind of carpool down there. And I think we're just gonna straight shoot it to the Keys, because they really want to go to the Keys, and we're gonna be around, you know, I'm gonna be around there, we're gonna be around there for, you know, a couple days. I might stay a little bit longer and, you know, camp out of the truck, maybe get a hotel or something, and then start working my way north, and possibly even thinking about heading west, because I've never fished the west coast of Florida, I've never fished Louisiana, I've never fished Texas. So if I see that there's an opportunity to fish the Gulf side and catch some fish, I might take that, and we'll just make a really cool trip out of it. It might be like a 2-week, 3-week long trip for me. But anyway, we got about a quarter mile to go. I got some crabs back there. I've got you know, some little soft plastic swim baits, artificials, and we're gonna head a little bit further down, start plugging away, and probably eventually switch over to the bait and really try and succeed today where we failed in the last vid, if you saw that. So stay tuned, and let's just make a day of it, see if we can catch some fish. Alright, so I was gonna start with this little 3-inch Z-Man swim bait, but after sending up the drone, I could faintly see a good little concentration of reds. And I remember in our last outing, when we threw the artificial into a good school of reds, they more or less just spooked and scattered and really weren't interested in the soft plastic. So I cut up a blue claw already into 4 chunks, and we're just gonna try putting on a single little Gami bait hook, 20-pound leader, and I'm gonna try no weight at all, because these fish that I spotted are in some pretty skinny water. And I'm just gonna try and cast this chunk right into that zone where they're hanging out, and hope this will just kind of slowly sink to the bottom, and they'll just swim along or smell it and swim, you know, swim and find it, and then just slurp it up. So without getting too close, I'm just gonna throw that in the zone. Try and stay out from that area. See if we get bit. Damn. Snag the bottom. Great. All right, well, that was a quick hook. Lost that one right away. All right, that looks good. All right, well, unfortunately, nothing on the crab chunks right in the spot where I saw a little concentration with the drone. And I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, after that first flip, when we got hung up and broke the hook off, like, I bet you we probably spooked that school. So we're gonna clip this hook off, and I'm actually gonna put back on a little swim bait. We'll kind of go over this area real quick with the artificial. Then I'm thinking about throwing on this float and then just dangling a little crab chunk below that and letting it just kind of drift along the grass line. Then maybe we won't get hung up as much. there's one. Little guy. Is that a trout? Might be a trout. Oh yeah. Pretty decent sized trout. Did not expect that at all right there. Check that out. Beautiful fish. Whew. It's always really cool when you get surprised like that. And I actually think right where I caught that trout, I spotted a couple reds up and shallow along the grass, but I think they got spooked. So I'm glad we at least caught the trout. Wow, well, it has turned into a beautiful day out here. The wind totally flopped out, and we were basically just sitting out here like a cork. Oh, that's a fish. Oh my gosh, he's running at me now. What is going on here? Oh my gosh. It's a nice red, dude. Woo! Oh, that was such a weird bite. And I caught that one right in the same spot here where we were flipping the chunk of crab for a little while. Oh, it's a nice one. Whew. Covered in spots too. It's a gorgeous fish. Oh, he's barely hooked. Barely hooked. Check that out right there. What a beauty. All spotted up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots on this one side. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 on this side, 7 on that side. That is awesome. Ate that little 3-inch Z-Man. Look, that look literally just popped out. Favorite fish to catch right here. Top 3 at least, you know, with stripers, snook, and redfish. They're all pretty close. Let's get her back. That was weird. Such a hot fish. As soon as its tail hit the water, it was just like boom, just wiggled out of my fingers. All right, unfortunately, no more bites on the swim bait. Maybe we'll try it a little later. But let's clip this off. I'm gonna tie on my bobber with about a 4-foot leader, little egg sinker, and a little gami octopus bait hook. Ooh. Now, if you were a red, would you eat that? That looks pretty juicy to me. I'm gonna cut it into 4s. Oh yeah. So this is a real juicy, chunky one. All right, now we wait. It'll be pretty cool to see what grabs onto this bait and drags that bobber down. All right, well, it's been a little over an hour and not a single touch with the crab and float. So I think we're gonna make a game-changing move here. All right, we'll try a chunk of crab on this little jig, and I think we're gonna move up to some hard structure like that bridge there and give it a shot there. All right, nothing at that first bridge way back there, and we headed upriver just a little bit, and we're gonna try hitting these 2 bridges here. They just look so much more fishier. They've got a lot more pilings, they're packed tighter together. So I think this is where it might happen. So we'll give it like 20-30 minutes, and if it doesn't, then we'll head back down river, maybe some more fish. We'll set up in that same spot where we had some, fish today, and then possibly call it a day. Oh, this looks so juicy. 15 feet of water too, like a pretty good depth. Not too deep, not too shallow. Whew, all right, we're back at the launch, ready to load the kayak up on the car and get out of here. But it was a beautiful day on the water. Finally got out there with some nice weather. I probably got like a little bit of a tan. I had to wear my buffet at some point too, because I was just, you know, like getting hypnotized by the sun, staring into that water, just hoping for another bite. And unfortunately, we got a little taste today, but just couldn't put the puzzle together. And that's fishing for you. But I'm glad we kind of experimented around a little bit, tried the crab chunk with the float, which I thought would have definitely caught one other fish. And I thought we'd have at least would have had a bite off the bridges, but maybe it's not the right time of the year to hit the bridges because the deeper water is probably a lot cooler, and or it could have just not have been the right time of the tide. I don't know. We'll probably try it all again during a different time of day, different time of tide, and see if we do any better. If not, then, you know, it might just be time of the season. You know, the water right now on the surface is pretty chilly still, 53, 54, so I wouldn't be surprised that a lot more of the fish are up shallow, just, you know, soaking in that sun. And that's where we found the trout and the nicer red. And also, one thing that was different today than our last outing is where the Wapoo meets the Ashley, I saw like 20 or 30 dolphins, and they love trout and redfish, and they could have been chasing reds and trout around all morning, having a field day, and could have scattered any fish in the area where we were fishing today. And therefore, that's why we only found like one, you know, small pack of reds, where I caught the one nice red. And after I caught my red, then they probably scattered even more, which made it even more difficult. But all in all, a great day. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay tuned. Next couple days, I'll probably be still fishing locally, but then finally, we'll be getting down to Florida, doing some really cool fishing missions, which hopefully will get you on the edge of your seat, and we'll be able to catch some tarp and snook, and probably also some redfish as well, but maybe some bigger ones, and whatever else is willing to bite. But anyway, I gotta get out of here. I am starving, but never forget, live to fish, fish to live.